Okay. So, my coworker, I was bringing up my dark past, and my coworker was like, "Oh, we all do cringy shit when we're kids." I'm like, "Dude, if I tell you the name of this character, you're gonna laugh." And he was like, "No, I won't." And I'm like, "I bet you $5. I bet you five fucking dollars." And he had $5 on him. And needless to say, I came out there $5 richer.
What was the name of the character? Cold Steel the Hedgehog?
No, I'm not telling you. Gator knows. Gator knows. Nobody else gets to know.
Yeah.
That like
Until we flash it across the screen on this YouTube video.
no, do not. No, no, take it down.
I was gonna, this is why you was, I don't remember if it was you that was how do you pronounce it? Uberd Stone, and
What?
and Stephen Cooper, Uberd.
Oh, Eobard.
Eobard.
What? Okay,
Eobard.
fucking excuse me.
Not a real
Eobard?
name. Shut up.
Yeah, what? It is a real name. It's a real ass fucking name.
Yeah, okay, maybe in like the Black Cauldron.
Punch
a
it
real
in right
name.
now, I can feel it.
I have a goddamn English degree. That's not a real name.
Yeah, that's not a real degree.
It is. It is.
Of course, the owner of the XWF has a fake degree.
Yeah, no, it's no, it's from the University of South Florida, sir. It's an accredited university.
South
Accredited
Florida.
University, that's full of Florida men. So I mean, how well can you really take that?
Go Bulls.
As a famous
What I was
Canadian
trying to say is it makes sense that tag team did so well because you and Big D are both gigantic dorks, apparently, with all of his magic tournaments and stuff like that.
I didn't know.
God. He loves
Oh man,
magic.
I might have to find that shit. I linked it to you once before, Gator, didn't I?
Yeah,
Like the forum that he was active on, and he was like going crazy over like Magic the Gathering lost. Like it was pretty funny, and he was called Big D.
Can you link me? That sounds amazing.
I'll try and dig it up. I'll try and dig it up. I'll put it in the video because it's great.
Hope T's all right. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, I'll be doing well.
Yes,
He probably caught a domestic.
Oh God, no! I have a question before we proceed with affairs.
Good God! All right, go ahead.
No, you said University of South Florida, right?
Yeah, it's in Tampa.
Yeah, and your team was the Bulls?
That's right.
What the fuck kind of bull is in South Florida, let alone any Florida?
A tan bull.
Yeah. I mean, it seems kind of obvious, you know?
Yeah. Lieutenant Drebin, police squad.
Oh, I remember you, Drebin. What do you want?
I want to ask you some questions. You familiar with that face?
I don't know. My memory ain't so great.
Oh, yeah? Maybe this will refresh your memory.
I don't know. It's still kind of hazy.
How about this?
Yeah, I remember him. I used to see him around. Why do you want to know?
I can't tell you that.
Well, maybe this'll help.
I really don't think I should.
Yeah, you still don't think so?
All right, his name is Nordberg. He's a cop.
He was no cop. He was dealing H.
What?
I'm telling you, he was dirty.
Oh, you sniveling scum. I ought to run you in right now.
All right. He worked at Ludwig Shipping. He tried to push something on one of my boys. I swear it. So what are you going to do about it, copper?
Well, why should I tell you?
Maybe this'll help.
I still don't think I should tell you.
Can you spot me at 20? How about now?
All right, I'm going down to Ludwig's office. I'll find out.
And here we are once again, ladies and germs. It is the all-new, revamped, reupholstered, redeveloped from the ground up XWF podcast. I am your host with the most, Loverboy Vinny Lane. I'm here with my three amigos, just like always. My buddy from across the pond, Gator. Say hello, Gator.
Hello, I'm Gator the Hedgehog.
Gator the Hedgehog. He's on his third prime minister in 3 months. That laughter in the background, of course, was Amigo number 2, I think. Notorious Ned K. How you doing, Ned?
It was not me, actually, for
I
once.
was you.
I
Damn
am
it.
K the Ned Kidna, and I am in a good mood today to talk about these Novtober roundup of shows.
Why?
Awesome.
God damn it.
I'm
God
glad to
damn it.
hear that. Well, and rounding out the trio, my friend, I've known this guy for a really long time, and every day of every year for his entire life is No Nut November. How you doing, Maverick?
I hate this. I hate this. I'm alright, I guess.
Mav,
Yeah, you were until a couple of seconds ago.
Mav, what's your Sonic persona name?
I don't know.
Maverick the horse.
Yeah. He's the
Is
real
there a
Thunder
horse in
Knuckles.
Sonic? Is there
Yeah,
even-
they're yeah, they're
That was a
horses.
horse. What?
Yeah,
That was My Little Pony.
no, they're
Is
horses.
that outing himself right
No,
Are you?
for the love of fuck, no, I'm going to actually get really angry about this. I'm going to get really angry about it, which
Oh,
sounds
no.
very bad.
Yeah, I bet you are.
now? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Gator,
Ponytorious Ned K.
future Gator, I'm going to send you a picture of a horse character from the Archie Sonic comics. Do
Oh my
not
God.
put a My Little Pony. I will find you. I will hurt you.
Gator, you know what you have to do.
Oh yeah.
No.
Peter. The horse is here.
Already started.
It's okay, Ned. It's okay. At least you can be rest assured that Sonic Frontiers is out today. So I mean,
I'm not.
You guys are no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm not into weird shit like
the
that.
new Sonic game that I've heard a lot from my friends that I know Ned is going to be all over.
Well, you guys
Actually-
are losers. You guys are
God.
dorks, and we should talk about pretend underpants fighting instead.
Goddamn right. I
Okay,
think Ned's dying right now.
Benny. I
Yes,
am
sir.
only going to refer to wrestling from now on as underpants fighting. That is fucking.
Everybody will know exactly what you're talking about.
I know.
You won't get any weird looks at all.
I'll be like, oh yeah, I watched that on Monday night. It was cool.
Yeah.
Everybody was
So-
in their underwear.
I really like the guy with the black underwear.
I don't. Was that a joke? All right, I don't know. Let's go. What do we got on tap today, Maverick? We have a full slate, right? We had a bunch of shows coming up, and they've all come and gone.
Yes, we have one Wednesday Night Warfare, one Nightmare on Savage Lane Halloween special, one Thursday Night Anarchy, and one Halloween special Monday Night Madness. So how about we just go from the top to the bottom, and then we'll go through also the cards along the way.
Absolutely. We
Time
have.
out.
What?
Please stop. I'm so sorry.
Are you okay?
Benny, no, you said come and gone, and then you giggled at your own sentence. And it fucking killed me. I
It
think
wrecked him. It ruined him.
it ruined me. I can't do it. Oh my god, I was wheezing.
I didn't
Oh,
think anybody even heard that.
no, I heard it. It was so funny. It was really funny. It just went coming and going. And it was like fucking hell, dude. Okay, go on. I'm so sorry.
Sometimes I giggle like a kindergartner at my own jokes. There's nothing wrong with that.
It was
Yeah.
really funny.
You
It was
just have no jokes.
All right, so this Wednesday Night Warfare aired on the 26th of October from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Another short card on this one, as we discussed on the last show. We didn't have a lot booked on this one, but go ahead and hit me with it, Maverick.
Of course, from the top to the bottom, we only had two matches here. We had Ned K versus Finn Kuhn versus Goth in a triple threat match. And then we had a Super Continental title match between Peter Vaughn and Charlie Nichols. Peter Vaughn was able to choose a stipulation, and he chose an acrophobia claustrophobia match. So that is going to be interesting to see how that played out. we start off the show with Atara Themis coming out as the Extreme Champion, and she responds to Goth's challenge that she issued out for her earlier last show, I believe. And she basically went on and tore him a new one, figuratively speaking, with talking about how it is 24/7 and Goth can take any shot he wants anytime and so he doesn't really need to waste time with these stupid challenges. And she calls him out for that. So after that,
That's solid promo work because that's a very good point. I mean, what can you really say about it?
right, exactly. So from there, we go over to backstage where we have another, another Chris Page discussion with Bam Miller going on about Jason Cash and the trilogy with Theo Price going on with their ongoing rivalry. And there's a lot of sparks flying out. And I mean, obviously, these are probably going to have to come over to a match real fast, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the trilogy is a great faction. They're probably one of the only real factions around at the moment.
Mhm.
I mean, it seems tailor-made to kind of go into the tag scene with two of those guys. I mean, if we do like a Ryan Keto and a Jason Cash team up, I think that would be a really good team. I know there was a lot of talk on the forums recently about what tag teams made sense, but I mean, to me, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, medical tag teams being thrown out there. So
Yeah.
we go from that to backstage, where Finn Kuhn is getting ready for the triple threat match that's about to happen, and Buster Gloves comes on in to discuss what's been going on their end with trying to figure out who interfered and meddled in their match. And they agree that after Finn's match, they're going to be heading backstage to security and talk to Little Feather about what's been going on at Relentless.
Little Feather. Oh man, I miss that guy. He hasn't been on camera in a long time. Did he ever get a shirt?
What? He did not
The
get a
guy's just
shirt.
he never has a shirt on.
No,
I don't think he got a shirt on. I could be wrong. We'll see if
He's
it's
just so
noted.
damn handsome.
He's a
I
beautiful
like-
man.
I like the idea that like XWF merch, like this should be added to the shop. There's a Little Feather shirt, but obviously
Invisible.
Listen, like some of the weirder shit that we do is very underrated. It flies under the radar. In fact, Ned, I want you while we finish, I'll let Maverick get back to the card here and talk about the show. I want you to pull up in the roster section. I added some new referees recently. I want you to just take a gander at those and let me know what you think. All right, back to you, Maverick.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so we head over to the triple threat match between Ned K, Finn, Kuhn, and Goth. Very evenly balanced match with all three of them getting, their licks in, fending off the other competitors. But ultimately, it came down to Ned bringing back one of his old finishing moves, the Airborne Annihilator on Finn. But Goth managed to break up the pinfall, saving things just in time before he manages to pick up Ned and just plants him with a Goth drop, picks up the 1-2-3. Goth is your victor. Very well done opening match.
Competitive. I like that. I feel like that was really close in the judging, and that everybody came out swinging in that one. I know that was tough. So awesome win for Goth over two veteran stalwarts, and like you said, Ned K brought back. Was this Airborne and wasn't that like a cross body block?
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was just running the ropes and doing a flying crossbody.
I feel like I think I
I
remember like taking Ned aside like not long after he joined the Fed and being like, this finisher's got to go.
yeah, I remember that. I was like, can we please stop talking about it?
Were we both a part of that conversation? Like, 'cause
Yeah.
Probably.
I remember that as well.
Like, how can I write a match where people are taking like pile drivers onto the stairs and kicking out, and then they get pinned by you just sort of jumping on them?
No, I remember what it was now. It's because like it was how Ned
Please
described
stop.
it. Sorry, we need to
Please
talk. We
stop.
need to talk about it. It's so good. So, 'cause
I'm leaving this.
you didn't
I
like.
would no fuck off.
Let me talk about it because it's fantastic and I love it.
I was a newer wrestling fan. I didn't know all the lingo, and I've got fucking Captain Cunt over here and fucking Owner McBoner making fun of me for not knowing what a flying crossbody is.
So
Eat my ass.
the reason why I found it so funny was because Ned wrote it like step by step. It was like Ned hits the first set of ropes, runs, hits the second set of ropes, jumps into the air at a 5 foot like leap, turns his body at a 90-degree angle, and comes
I think Ned
down
just left the
friction.
chat.
Ned just left.
Leave.
He just went through. Ned's actually left.
I think we really heard him.
He says he'll come back once we're done.
Oh, that was great.
Fuck you.
Oh, but I better finish all of it. So Owen's.
I love
as well.
Gonna know what was said there because I left. I'm not listening to that part of the recording.
Okay. You don't know where he's going to put it.
Yeah.
Well, you can put it at the very end, for all you know.
Shove it in the beginning, so when I start the video, I think I'm gonna get a funny story about my other secret shame, and then no, it's just this other cringy bullshit I was involved in. Lovely.
Anyway, so Ned lost and Finn lost
Yeah,
Yeah,
as I deserve.
and Goth won. So that's good.
so-
And then so
Yes,
Goth
Ned?
put himself
Go on.
up there as a major name, as a top contender in the XWF, right?
Certainly,
Yeah,
yeah.
Goth is great.
I know that
like
he has a big match coming up on next Worker, so that's going to be one to look out for.
Ooh.
I said it like
We'll get there in a minute.
I said it on the
Yes,
last
of
show
course,
as
of
well.
course.
It's like I do really think Goth is incredible with just a one RP.
Mhm.
But like Finn and Mav, they're both they're used to longer RPs and more RPs. Goth isn't as much, so I think that's really what the deciding factor was there. But they all did fucking really well, and it was a very, very, very close match.
Yeah. I mean, that one was judged that was kind of down to the wire, as you would kind of expect it to be, because I mean that we talked about that last time. I mean, any of those three guys could have won.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
What was next?
Right, we go over to backstage where Jenny Mist discusses Ryan Kito's promo from The Last Savage, and she dissects it a little bit and goes on to how he was the White Knight. He had all the adoration, all the spotlight on him, but Jenny Mist had just been doubted and just looked past at every turn. Nobody had any real faith in her, and she gave him the platform to be the king of the castle, but he threw it away at War Games and he lost the Universal Championship, and now she's just trying to go after him now. And at the end, we have a Chris Chaos coming in with a little burn Cosmos of his own. So, I mean, really, that story's starting to ramp up now big time. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have in mind at Bad Medicine.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that was a heck of a segment. Well, we had a lot of segments for a pretty small card.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody chipped in. It was a pretty nice size results.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to see. I like that. I mean, that just shows that, even if, people maybe didn't want to write 15,000 words in the last couple of weeks right before Halloween or something, they still wanted to have their stories rolling along at least.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's really cool. And it's definitely heavily appreciated as well. For such a small card, it's nice to have so many segments.
Right,
Yeah.
for
That's
sure.
that's one of the best parts of a smaller card is that you can really give a segment more time to shine, more time to really be focused on, as opposed to a bigger card where it might get kind of lost in the bigger matches.
Yeah, get swept up in the
Great point.
shuffle.
You guys all sound like you've definitely defended having things on the smaller side before.
In any event, speaking of segments, we go on now to our next segment.
Vinny, if you didn't know, I like to take things step by step, so you can
Oh.
shove it.
Yeah.
Inch by inch.
All about the motion.
Oh yeah. I like to jump on
Oh no! Oh hell no!
Okay. Let's go, man.
Right. So the next segment, we go backstage and see Finn Kuhn walking with Buster Gloves, and they are heading right over to security, and they go in to see Littlefeather. And yes, Vinny, he is completely shirtless. So we're keeping that consistency up. So Littlefeather welcomes him in. Says he was expecting them with the relentless having to look backstage and whatnot. Goes over to a nearby security guard, escorts the two over there, and they go to look up the feed with what happened, but they see that there is a gap in the footage, unfortunately. The timestamp jumps forward by some minutes, and it's clear that somebody must have gotten in, somebody with some pull, maybe somebody who has a connection to one of the big names backstage. So, fortunately, that's a big question mark right now, but It angers Finn and Buster, and they decide to agree to themselves to go out to the ring and try and get some answers by force. So we'll be seeing that later on. But for now, we go backstage again to see that Atara Themis has gotten the jump on Goth, and she actually has gotten her family involved.
Oh no, there's so many of
yeah.
them.
There is a lot of them. But they basically band up on Goth together, and Atara basically pins Goth 1, 2, 3 backstage, and she just says 24/7 Goth, all night, all day, survive. So I mean, harsh words and a harsh action, as I believe she cartwheeled on his nuts. Yes, she did.
Oh,
Damn.
that's just rude.
Excuse me?
Yeah, literally cartwheeled right on top of his nuts. You can go over and see the results for yourself.
I mean, you figure it
Um,
would at least be like a back handspring or something. I mean, anybody can do a cartwheel.
I think the results. I think the results are testicular torsion.
I'm sorry. No, Lane. I challenge you to do a cartwheel right now in real life.
Not right now. I mean, I'm not stretched
Do it.
out. I haven't. I'm not ready. I can't do it right now.
I've been on this earth for 30 years and I've never managed to pull off a cartwheel.
Children do cartwheels.
Because they're children, and if they fall into something, they don't hurt for 8 days.
Right?
Okay, fine. But you know what? It's not my fault that the British gymnastics team has never won a medal. Most people could do a cartwheel.
You throw
Future
out the
Gator, please
weirdest
check the
shots.
facts on that.
I'm going to. I'm doing it right now, actually.
Oh, good.
Oh no, Vinny, you
Gonna
should
send them on the Wikipedia.
Vinny, you shouldn't have angered the editor. Something's gonna happen now. You don't even know what's gonna happen.
How many more segments until we get to a match?
We're actually about to come to our next match right now. So
All right.
Peter Vaughn versus Charlie Nichols for the Super Continental Championship, and it is an explosive match. The two of them just going after it with everything they've got. And I mean, the cage was used. Both men were being bloodied. Peter Vaughn got thrown off of the balance beam on top of the cage because it's an acrophobia claustrophobia match. So it's kept inside a steel cage, but there are two balance beams that you have to like walk across in order to get to the center and plug down the title from up there. So it's a really dangerous showing there. But Charlie Nichols managed to use it best to his advantage, as the two of them were right on top of the balance beams, and he managed to hit his finisher off of the balance beam, but Vaughn just falls off completely, and that gave Charlie enough time to just go up and get the title, and he is the new Supercontinental Champion. So Peter Vaughn's reign ends at 4 months and 27 days.
Bravo, Charlie Nichols, honestly, because I don't think anybody thought he was going to get it done. But just goes to show you what an American do when balance beams are involved, because gymnastics. So, I mean, good for him. I don't know. I assume Peter Vaughn is from New Zealand or something. I don't pay attention.
What? I didn't know Vaughn. I didn't know Vaughn was a Kiwi name.
It probably isn't. But I don't know if there even is such a thing.
Out of all the places you choose New Zealand.
Yeah. I mean, all season Kiwis are all just like,
oh no,
they're all just Brits that Brits didn't want. So I don't know.
Oh, boo.
Oh my god.
Oh, read a history book. Anyway, good job, Charlie Nichols.
Right. So we go over to post-match. Charlie Nichols has already left. Peter Vaughn getting tended to by medical crew, but slowly walking up the ramp as Finn Coon and Buster Gloves come running out to the ring, and they demand answers. They say they are not going to leave the ring until they get their answers. And then the Titantron and all the lights go out, and the Titantron just flashes, "I've got a secret." So it shows the missing Relentless footage from way back in the security room. And we see that there is a mysterious man threatening one of the production members, slams him to the wall, and the cameraman just get a good look in his face, revealing it is none other than Finn Coon. So Finn Coon apparently had gotten involved in this match and apparently paid off the production workers to try and air the quote of "I quit." So something seems amiss here, and there's a bit of hesitation on both sides here, but Buster shoves Finn, and Finn on the rebound catches him with a swan song out of instinct. So, and he's staring at Buster, wondering what he's done. And then Peter Vaughn comes in out of nowhere, to give the save for Buster Gloves, the two of them having worked together in Level Up. And Buster Gloves managed to come back with Peter Vaughn, and they just booted Finn right out of the ring to end the show together.
Awesome. And that was again. So that was a match that was kind of come all the way back from Relentless, right? With Finn and Buster, and then there was the rematch that was set up at outside of the XWF on the Terra Phoenix charity event, right? So did that match come and go, or did that not happen yet?
That match did come and go, and Buster Gloves and managed to actually come away with a hard-fought win himself. And I know it was very down to the wire, that match too. So I mean, definitely, no harm involved there. But Finn unfortunately got dropped on his neck 2 times in a row to end the match. So hate to see that.
I mean,
Well,
we come out of this match or this segment with a lot of questions. Will the XWF legend Buster Gloves be able to defeat Finn one more time?
Yeah, of course.
Who is this doppelganger?
Doppelganger?
Yeah, no one.
Oh,
wait. Yeah,
it's Finn, but it's not Finn.
Go ahead and cut that because that sounds really bad.
No. We kept Ed Pay.
So I'll shut up now.
But yeah, I might need a little explainer. So because they revealed that Finn Koon interfered in Finn Koon's match.
That's what it appears to be.
So it was shown backstage that apparently it must have been before Finn's match because explaining the missing gap in footage, but apparently it must be the case that he had gotten the production workers on his side before then. So who knows? I mean, Finn didn't quite seemed quite guilty about it. It seemed something was off. So maybe we'll get some more explanation on that end pretty soon. Who knows?
Well, you can't trust anybody from the Weimar Republic.
No, you really can't. So
well, honestly though, that's for a two match card. That's a spectacular warfare with all those segments, a big title change in the main event, a nice setup match with Goth winning the triple threat, and then like really furthering stories for down the road. I was thrilled to see all that come to fruition. So I think it really set up the next warfare really well. So when that card's out, Maverick, why don't you take us through that?
Of course, yes, of course. So it is going to be live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas. We have 4 matches on this card, so a nice, decent, healthy card. Definitely a step up from last show. So starting things off, we have Tommy Wish versus Isaiah King. Then we have Ned K versus Buster Gloves. We have Centurion versus Finn Koon, and then in the main event, it was for the Extreme Championship, but then. Well, we're going to get to that later, but it's going to be Atara Themis versus Goth in a Smoke and Bob special, a glass cage match, but it's with a chamber filled with weapons in each corner that will open at random intervals, and the first person to bloody their opponent and throw them through the thick glass wall will be declared the winner. So definitely going to be a chaotic card coming up.
Yeah. How did we only go from Dallas to San Antonio in 2 weeks?
I mean, for the longest time, Savage has been in California, so I mean, are we really going to question it now?
Savage got the fucking budget, so the warfare only had the bus.
They were like, hey, we'll just pay for hotels because it's cheaper than plane tickets.
Yeah, you all have to walk. Sorry. No, this is a good card. Tommy and Isaiah. That's going to be a good match. I mean, Isaiah is really lighting things up. Tommy is always right there in the thick of things. I mean, everybody loves JB, Tommy Wish. Ned K and Buster Gloves. I mean, that's obviously, like we said, Ned and Finn are pretty equal. So we've seen what Finn and Buster can do. Now it's Ned and Buster. It's awesome that Buster stuck around too, because when he came in for the Relentless match, I mean, there was no guarantee that there was going to be anything other than that one match. So it's good to see that Buster's really kind of settled in to be part of the XWF.
Absolutely.
And Sant and Finn Koon, I mean, that's good stuff right there. I mean, Sant is always a good read, classic, legend. He's up to over 200 XWF victories now, so I mean, that's awesome.
Can he notch another win here against Finn? Well, you shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, definitely. And then in the main event, so Atara Themis, who you alluded to this. I mean, obviously, I mean it's already happened. already past it. I mean, Goth was supposed to be getting his Extreme Championship shot against Atara Themis, who has since lost the Extreme Championship. But we'll get to that when we get to that card. But I mean, poor Goth. I mean, I think that's like the second time that happened to him.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Honestly, absolute heartbreaker for him.
Yeah, we'll
But I mean,
get you, Goth. We'll get to you, buddy. You're gonna get a
Yeah.
chance, I promise.
who knows? Maybe if he wins, he might be able to guarantee himself that Extreme title shot at Bad Medicine. Ooh.
Ooh.
Shout out to Goth, fan of the podcast. Poor
Yes,
guy.
we love you, buddy.
Love you.
I'm really sorry if you had to look at a My Little Pony earlier. It wasn't my fault.
You don't know if he didn't like it.
Oh, fair enough. I don't. I'm happy for you.
So that's it for Warfare.
We head over
This
now to
I want to talk about Savage here because this was I think a lot of people were looking forward to this one because it was
Yes.
spooky Savage, right? So
Nightmare on Savage Lane. Yes.
My baby.
Well, take us through it, Mav. Take us through it.
Yes, of course, of course. We have a very set card for you. We have Franken Fury with Tommy Slovino versus Ruby in a chainsaw massacre match out in the middle of the woods. They got to use a chainsaw in order to win by pinfall or submission. You have Finn Fury versus Ryan Keto in a trick-or-treat match in Savage Rules, where you have to procure 3 golden candy bars before you can go for a pin or submission. We have the only normal match on the card between Michael Graves, HGH, and Isaiah King for the television championship. Then we have the tag team titles with the Midnight Dolls defending against Angelica Vaughn and John Madison Jr. in a Graveyard Brawl match. We have an Extreme House on Haunted Hill match for the Extreme Championship between Atara Themis, Marth, and Jenny Mist. And then for the main event, we have Mark Flynn versus Dick Powers in an Escape from Crystal Lake match where they got to get out of Crystal Lake while Mrs. Voorhees and Jason are running after them the entire time. So definitely an entertaining card.
Yeah, take us through it, man. How do we start things off this time? Because I mean, look, that's like all of the titles basically outside of Madness Anarchy. I mean, we got all the belts here. This is gonna be heavy.
Yes, so we start off the show actually with none other than an appearance from Mark Flynn. Interesting. So he advertises the optimal path with "Don't delay, call today, call 1-800-OPTIMAL," and he takes to the mic talking about how pain is good, pain is weakness leaving your body, and he has proven that with breaking Michael Graves' neck and forcing him onto the optimal path. And then all of a sudden, the lights go out, and turns out that Michael Graves has made a miraculous recovery from a broken neck over the course of 2 weeks. So, I mean, honestly, amazing stuff here. And he comes down over to the ring and he wants a refund on the optimal path because he says it has not helped him one bit. He discovered that Mark Flynn hits like a pitch. And
I'm glad to know that Michael Graves is the cheerleader from Heroes with his recovery time.
honestly,
Well, this
Wow.
is all explained actually. Well, there was a kind of a doppelganger situation, not a doppelcooner, but we'll get to it later.
I love how when I brought up a Heroes reference, Gator just went, "Wow!" Like, holy shit!
Yeah,
Wow,
somebody
Ned,
remembers that piece of shit show.
He
So
watched
the
it when
so bad.
he
Got
watched
so
it in
bad.
preschool.
Yeah, I did. I was drawing my Sonic Fan character with a crayon and looking at Heroes while I was doing it.
Oh my God.
And you were watching
Especially the
Heroes,
cheerleader.
and you were like, "I wish I could be that guy that does heroin and paints the future or whatever."
Nice.
I want to be that fat guy who escaped the island. That's a different show. It's a different show. My bad. It's a different show.
They all blend together. Oh, actually, sorry. Can I take a little detour because there's actually
Yeah.
a fun fact to know about this. So,
Okay.
what channel were he on? Was it like CBS or HBO?
NBC. NBC.
Wow, he was just
And-
right there with that
and-
information.
Thank you. So
I know. I just remember it.
the guy that greenlit like the shows like Heroes, Lost, and does another one as well. The only reason I think it might have been Prison Break, but I'm not sure. But he greenlit those shows because he was about to get fired, so he greenlit them to make the company lose as much money as possible because he thought there was no way in hell they were going to do well, and they ended up being like the most popular shows on ABC.
Yeah, like for a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nuts.
That's great.
I love that. I love that story.
It actually gives him a really good resume, though. So,
True.
and now he role plays as Notorious Ned K.
Thank you. You know, I always wanted, whenever I was a preschooler in charge of ABC, I always wanted to give an audience a diverse set of qualities, which is why every role play I write is Ned being sad.
Damn, that's a mood. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You really
So-
hit a cross body block on that conversation and just killed it.
Eat my ass, Benny! You motherfucker. Anyway.
So the segment ends with Flynn and Graves getting face to face, but Tommy Gunn, of all people, actually comes out with more security forces, manages to separate the two, and so we go from that over to the Chainsaw Massacre match between Frank and Fury and Ruby, and honestly, it was very chaotic. I mean, Tommy Slovino tried getting involved multiple times, and Ruby actually took it upon herself to get the chainsaw going. She cranks it going, slashes it at Frank and Fury, and I mean, it actually hits. It actually hits, but no matter what she could have done, I mean, nothing was taking Frank and Fury down. But ultimately, Ruby eventually got the pinfall, and then Tommy tried getting involved again, but Ruby hits him with the Ruby Cutter, and Frank and Fury just runs off into the night. So this is now the second show over a 2-week cycle where something from the XWF has gotten out into the wilderness. So I mean, first was the gorilla, and now this.
Do you think Frank and Fury and a literal gorilla will meet?
They have to
Maybe.
at this point. I mean,
Ooh.
now we've sowed the seeds. Man,
Yes.
but
Right.
good match there. I mean, Ruby got that Fury on the chainsaw. So I mean, that's some good stuff. Always good to see Ruby come out on top. I'm a big Ruby fan, as everybody is, young and old.
Yes.
For sure, for sure.
I
So
don't know if we'll see any more of Frank and Fury, but you know, I think the season is probably beyond Frank and Fury at this point. It's not really a Christmas character.
I disagree. You could
could
put
be Santa, Frank and
Fury in a
Fury.
Santa hat.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Santa Claus is kind of undead. I don't know. We'll think about it.
Okay.
We'll get to
let-
that bridge when we come to it.
I'm just saying, when we think about the writer of Frank and Fury, the idea of a Frankenstein's monster in a Santa cap being this undead like zombie definitely is the kind of funny shit that they would write.
You're not wrong.
I agree.
You're not wrong. So anyway, we go from the
Let's go.
Chainsaw Massacre match over to the Trick or Treat match between Finn Kuhn and Ryan Keto. So Ryan Keto, of course, wearing a Chun-Li costume for this match. Well, Finn comes out wearing a Patrick Bateman costume. So I mean, it's the match. It's the match that nobody knew they wanted to see. It's Patrick Bateman versus Chun-Li. So definitely an interesting one. And of course, both men just went around the block, taking in all the houses that they could. Ryan got the early lead with getting candy bars. And I mean, Finn Kuhn had to deal with getting Windex in his eyes from none other than Peter Vaughn, trying to get some more payback on him for what happened on Warfare. So that was,
Stings.
yeah, that does sting. And Finn had to actually get some water in his eyes to help with that. Meanwhile, obviously, Ryan Keto was trying to further his lead, but he got attacked by none other than M. Bison from Street Fighter. So that was a little match within a match right there. And then furthering that, also, Ryan Keto opened another door. Turns out there was none other than Jenny Mist in there, hitting Ryan with some pepper spray right in his eyes. And Finn saw this injustice going on, and he went after Jenny off into the woods. And it turns out that none other than Chris Chaos came out to spear Finn out of his boots right when Ryan Keto was going to check up on him. And I mean, they just went on to the night too. And eventually, the match just went on and on. But Ryan Keto eventually managed to get a very hard-earned pinfall over Finn Kuhn after a little exchange of signatures and finishers there to end off the match with.
I mean, Ryan, these guys chose their own costumes, right? Like, we didn't just...
Yes.
Okay. Because
Well,
you said, I just don't know if Ryan Keto as Chun-Li, like, is it
Yeah,
racist or is it transphobic?
No.
Keaton's girlfriend wanted him to dress up.
Okay.
I do think we missed a great opportunity with Kido not being dressed up as a cop.
He should have been a
Alright.
cop.
He should have been a cop.
We're
Uh,
telling you,
slutty
Mike,
cop.
it's a free gimmick.
A slutty cop.
Slutty cop.
You know, wait, I'm
On
pretty
me
sure.
as a cop.
Wait, Chun-Li's like an undercover investigator,
yeah.
if I remember
Oh!
correctly.
That's right.
Yes,
She is a
he's
cop. You're
further
right.
Oh
along.
my god.
You know, it's a
Meta.
cop.
So meta.
All I want to say about this match is it was a great clash between two really talented writers. But for Finn Kuhn, this was the most important loss of his life. For Keto, this was only Sunday.
Well done.
I
done.
understand that reference.
Well done. I was trying to think of one as well, but no, good job.
I feel like
Thank
Finn had to have. Did Finn write this match because he has interference from two like well decorated XWF champions and a literal end boss in order to lose this match?
Actually, it was Vaughn who wrote this match.
Ooh.
Oh right, and Vaughn too. Right. So yeah, like just the whole locker room. It took everybody for Finn to lose to former Universal Champion Ryan Keefe.
Well, got attacked on both sides. I mean,
Yeah, it's only fair.
it's only fair. It evened out in the end. But anyway, we go from that to the television title match between HGH, Isaiah King, and none other than Michael Graves yet again. And the match is being fast and furious. I mean, obviously, multiple men got involved multiple times, breaking up the pinfalls, getting involved. And it was honestly a really dangerous match. And I mean, eventually, towards the end, none other than Mark Flynn came out again, trying to get some more punishment on Michael Graves. And I mean, Michael Graves managed to actually shrug off the damage this time, and he went right after Mark Flynn off into the crowd with the fans cheering him on. But unfortunately, Isaiah King managed to hit the guillotine of destruction on HGH, and Graves tried to rush back in to break up the pinfall, but he was just too late, and Isaiah King is your new television champion. So unfortunately, Gravy won the gold, but he lost it just like that. You hate to see it.
We alluded to it earlier. Isaiah King coming on strong in the XWF. Really solid role player. Good stuff coming from Isaiah King. Glad to see it. One thing I'm actually really happy to see also is that it's been a while on a card since somebody spelled Michael wrong. Because I used to have to go in and fix it all the time because he spells it Micheal, which is wrong, but that's how he spells his name. But yeah, we've been getting it, according to him, correct for a while now. I haven't had to fix it for a while, so well done, everybody.
McKeel.
McKeel.
McKeel. So,
I think it's a Misfits thing. I think it's because of the Misfits. I think that guy from the Misfits spelled it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
Because
Holy
the
shit.
Misfits are a stupid band.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
That is not a hot take.
No.
I feel like you're going to get a fair amount of people who are going to disagree with you, honestly.
No, I used to love Misfits when I was a teenager. They are a stupid band.
Yeah, like as somebody who likes the Misfits still, they're a pretty dumb band. I would say, like, that's a room temperature take right there.
Well, listen, I literally know a grown adult in his 40s who follows Gwar around the country, so Misfits are at least better than that.
Is it Michael Graves?
No, it's
Better
not.
than me? Like, fuck you. I don't need this crap. I'm gonna listen to the fucking Offspring.
Ooh.
Let's just get back to the match. It's better than real life.
Yeah, sorry.
So, with the TV title match done, we go to another segment actually with Finn in the locker room trying to wash off that tough loss to Ryan Keto. And none other than Little Feather makes an appearance yet again, talking to Finn about how things seemed kind of suspicious with how things weren't lining up with his attitude leading up to the reveal. And he proposes that although he doesn't really trust him fully, there is one other source that may be able to clear up some of this last bit of suspicion. So Finn hears him out, but unfortunately we don't hear quite what he has in mind as we go off screen again. But
Little Feather, man. He's gonna have to get a SAG after a card soon because he's been on TV a lot in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Is he going to show up to the union without his shirt as well?
Yeah, and a one nipple ring with a dream catcher hanging off of it.
New character detail. Okay.
That is really hot.
Oh man.
So
I'm feeling all room temperature and bothered after that.
trying to
Wrestling.
ward off bad spirits, but he's not going to stop me.
That is disgusting, Gator. Holy shit. That was great. I am
Oh.
so sorry. Go ahead.
That is obviously the worst thing that has ever happened to a Native American.
Probably.
Oh, dear me.
We got Andrew Jackoff over here. Oh.
It won't be the worst thing a pasty British man has done to the Native Americans, so.
Yeah. So we go over to the tag team match, the Midnight Dolls versus Angelica Vaughn and John Madison Jr. in the Graveyard Brawl match. And I mean, we're seeing, again, yet more chaos with all four competitors going at the same time. And I mean, it's just fast and furious right now with the speed and chemistry of the Dolls going up against the ragtag group of competitors. But turns out that there was an actual zombie who came out, and then, but actually turns out it was none other than Dean Rose. But yes, it's definitely a chaotic match to say the least. But ultimately, it ended up with the ragtag group of Angelica Vaughn and John Madison Jr. getting the victory and getting the tag team titles, and the Midnight Dolls losing in their first defense. Unfortunately, it's just really tragic. But I mean, yeah, hopefully our new champs can take the tag titles far.
Yeah, I mean, after zombie interference, was it Frankenfury? Was that who
No,
the
it was
zombie?
Dean Rose. It was Dean Rose.
Oh, not Dean Rose. Dean
Yeah,
Rose
he
was
was-
and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Dean Rose was cool. He wouldn't have done that.
It breaks my heart, you know.
But
It
new
really does.
champs,
Hmm?
new champs. Angie Vaughn finally. Look,
Yeah.
I'm an Angie Vaughn mark. John Madison Jr. is doing some interesting stuff. It's an odd couple pairing. If you read their RPs, it's like oil and water, but it works. And
It's
I'm
the
somebody
perfect
who
combination of them.
Yeah, I really thought that like Vita and Dolly were gonna run with these tag titles for a long time because they're a really strong pairing. But that's an upset. That's a nice turn of events. Good job to Angie and to Madison Jr.
For sure.
Congrats.
So next we come over to the Extreme title match, the Extreme House on Haunted Hill match between Atara Themis, Marv, and Jenny Mist, and everybody makes their way to the basement, and that's where the match starts. And it's a really struggle-filled climb to the top because I mean, early on in the match, Jenny had a fire going in the basement, so they actually had a timer working against them as they had to try and climb to the top to get to the belt while still outrunning this fire. And it gets really chaotic because as soon as it gets to the middle floor, that's when monsters start to appear. So we see ghosts, we see vampires, and we see something that looks like a living marshmallow of sorts. I don't really know what that was all about, but
What was it, the Monster Squad?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, there was a whole lot of interference there, but turns out that they were actually helping the competitors by giving them weapons to use. So that was interesting to see. But yeah, ultimately they got up to the roof, and there was one last struggle between the three of them. Tara Themis managed to actually send Marv through a roof light over into the kitchen area, where he just lied there for the rest of the match. Well, meanwhile, Jenny Mist strangled and choked out Atara Themis through the use of a barbed wire garrote. So that was definitely something to see. But ultimately, it ended with Jenny Mist taking the Extreme Championship for herself, and she is your new champion.
Wow, Jenny Mist. I mean, I like I said before, Jenny Mist is an accomplished and decorated XWF veteran. Again, I mean, Atara, we've been talking about Addie Smash for a while. Kind of got caught napping in this one. Mist came and snatched the belt, and obviously, and there's been development since. We'll get when we talk about the upcoming card, we'll get to that. But as for here, Jenny Mist, Extreme Champion. I don't think she's been champ before, right?
Mhm.
Somebody look that up. I'm pretty sure.
I think she has been.
I think Jenny has won every title except the uni title at this point.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I really enjoyed this match, not only as like an homage to one of my favorite board games, because House on the Hill, gotta think of Betrayal, but
Right.
also for just having all of the essential haunted house elements, a fire, monsters, attempted murder, and a crazy woman coming out on top.
Exactly.
Always do. They always do.
God damn it.
Don't worry,
So-
Mav. You'll find out someday.
Oh, shut up. God fucking damn it.
You're gonna make Mav, one day you're gonna make a sane man very happy.
Goddamn right.
Oh,
Oh my god. So we go over to our next segment with Liam Desmond, of all people, in his office, trying to go over, just watch some of the footage, eating a nice home cooked dinner. While meanwhile, Finn, Kroon, and Little Feather come right into the back. And as you may or may not know, Liam Desmond is the head of the Department of Video Archive. So he has a video backup saved of every little piece of footage that gets captured by an XWF camera.
What a creep.
Convenient.
Yes, very convenient, definitely.
Deus Ex Machina.
But yes, he actually offered them a home cooked meal of their own because he has actually revealed that he is actually a cook for the XWF too. So that was kind of odd, but yeah.
Wait, so is
You
he
really-
under Taco? Because Taco's the director of craft services, so does Liam work for Taco, like, directly?
I think maybe it's just a matter of pitching in every now and then,
Taco is actually third in line to own the XWF.
Oh my god.
I cannot get over
I
the
can't
fact
wait for
that
that
not
day.
only. I'm so sorry. I cannot get over the fact that not only does this man work for a pig, but if I'm not careful, one day so will I.
Exactly.
You already do.
Oh no!
Taco is your superior, and you will address him as such.
Kayfabe, brother.
That doesn't work for Taco, brother.
I will go wake him up right now, and he will not be happy.
Oh.
No, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make any jokes, Mr. Taco.
It is
You're
nap
in
nap
trouble
time
now.
right now.
Aw.
Mark could have told you that.
Oh.
So, after embellishing them in a history of the Department of Video Archives, Liam finally manages to pull up the footage from what happened to work on Relentless backstage, but ultimately the camera does not see, and it turns out that Finn sees what's going on, and he says, all right, I'm going to invite Buster to Warfare along with Vaughn, and we're going to show them what really happened. So, looks like next Warfare, we're finally going to get an answer to the saga once and for all as to what exactly happened, because it seems like footage with Finn was not exactly accurate.
Oh, maybe it was a third Finn Coon.
The true doppelganger.
We have a doppelcooner.
It was a menage a coon.
I love this.
Yo!
Oh,
Oh!
I'm not
Oh,
doing that.
this
That's the main event right there. Good night.
Yeah. Coon beat Finn Coon.
Oh.
The only way he can get a win at this rate.
Ah,
Anyway, so we
it
go
hurts
over
because
to-
it's true.
Yeah, exactly. So we go over to the main event. Honestly, one of my favorite matches that I've read so far in my return. I'm going to be real with you. It's the Escape from Crystal Lake match for the XWF Universal Championship between Mark Flynn and Dick Powers. So the match starts with both of them coming up to Crystal Lake with Dick Powers already in the house and chatting with some of his friends. But ultimately, it seems that his party is being crashed. And there's just a looming threat of Jason and Mrs. Voorhees throughout the entire time. And Dick and Mark are unfortunately forced to work together, but they try to scheme on their own with trying to be the only ones to make it out. And they're ultimately forced to work together yet again and get the truck working. But it ends off with Mark Flynn leaving Dick Powers behind to be killed by Jason and dragged off to the endless abyss while he retains his Universal Championship. And that was Nightmare on Savage Lane.
Oh,
Wait a
man.
second. Did Dick Powers actually fucking die?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Don't worry.
He's dead.
Wait,
He's
what?
never going to show up again.
No, he's dead.
Wait. Like, this has to be like prevented by something in my contract, right? You can't send me out to a match and I die if I lose.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a normal match, but I mean, this is
I mean,
Camp
his arm
Crystal Lake.
literally got torn off, and Jason just slammed Dick dead again over and over again. So, I mean, I don't know. I'd say if he's not dead, he's pretty close to dead.
I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, you should
Exactly.
read the fine print when you sign these contracts.
Exactly.
And, you know, hopefully,
dude.
hopefully Dick doesn't show up on Madness like nothing happened. You know,
Yeah, that'd be
I
weird.
know.
that'd be
That would really be weird. But before we cover Madness, we have one more card to go through. That would be none other than the next Saturday Night Savage card, live from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'll be sure to take you through each of the matches here. We have a really big card here, 6 matches on tap, and we have started things off with Ryan Keto going against a newcomer to the XWF in Ava. So we'll see what that's all about, and hopefully Ava gets to show some of his stuff, gets to show that he can hang here. We'll see how that goes. We have Elijah Martin versus Reggie Estrada in a 2 out of 3 falls match. We have Buster Gloves versus Venom Xavier Lux. We have Michael Graves versus Finn Kuhn. And we have a tag team match between Mark Flynn and Jenny Miss versus Marv and Charlie Nichols. So,
Hit me. What's the stip on that? Let's talk about that match. I want to tell me the stip.
yes. So it's an Extreme Rules tag team match. So, it used to be that if Marv or Charlie Nichols pinned Jenny Miss because she won the Extreme title on Savage, the Nightmare on Savage Lane, that they would win the Extreme Championship. However, Jenny Mist has been pinned backstage thanks to the 24/7 rules by none other than Marv. So if Mark Flynn or Jenny Mist now pins Marv, they'll win the Extreme Championship. So
How amazing
definitely
is that? We just had an X title triple threat match on Savage, and since that time, all 3 of the people in that match have been Extreme Champion.
actually insane.
You can't really. We didn't do that on purpose, but man, it almost seems like we did, but we really didn't. I promise. I wouldn't. I
We
wouldn't do
wish we
that.
were that big brained. We wish we were that big brained.
Yeah. And it works out really well that that Marv and Jenny are facing each other again because we didn't really have to change anything. We just changed who the champion was, and the stip stays the same. And Jenny kind of gets not exactly a rematch, but close to a rematch, and everything can kind of come full circle on that. So that's cool. I like the way it worked out there. But what else is on there? We had a main event. What's the main event?
Yes, of course. It is a television championship match. Isaiah King making his first defense against none other than John Madison Jr., looking to get some of his first singles gold after taking the tag title. So we'll see how that goes. So what are you guys' thoughts about this?
Well, let's see, top to bottom. I mean, poor Avo. I mean, you got to draw the short straw for your. This is Avo's first match, and it's against Ryan Keto, the most recent former Universal Champion.
Yes. It's a very tough test ahead of him.
That's tough. That's a big sorry about your luck, Avo. We'll see what you can do, but man, that's tough.
Ultimately,
Elijah Martin and Reggie Estrada. I mean, those are guys who, well, Reggie not specifically, but I mean, it's kind of almost an anarchy match, so that'll be fun to see. These guys know each other pretty well. I mean, Reggie's part of the Thugs with Tommy Wish and JB. Buster Gloves and Xavier Lux. I mean, Xavier, Xavier's kind of hit and miss sometimes. Buster Gloves, I feel like they're pretty equal. I think that's going to be a real nice match. I don't know who would come out on top of that one. And then Mitchie Old Graves and Finn Kuhn. So that's good stuff. And we talked about the X title match and the main event. I mean, you got champ versus champ in that one. Isaiah King defending against a tag team champion, John. John Madison Jr. must have been up in my DMs to just get title match after title match. I'll have to check that.
Nepotism.
This is true.
Nepotism.
This is true.
It's not. John Madison Sr. Is not employed by the XWF and hasn't been for a while.
Currently, he's employed by whatever state is locking him up, to my understanding.
Yeah.
He's probably just working in the laundry room.
Oh boy. I'm excited to see what Maddie can do against Isaiah King. I think it
should be a good one.
Yeah, it's definitely entertaining.
I think is that the only one on there it looks like everybody else is a 1 RP match, right? So that one's the only 2 RP match.
Definitely
that could be fun.
To see. Yeah,
Get a little good back and forth in that one. So yeah, Savage is going to be awesome coming up. A lot of fun stuff happening on there.
We'll see
more. I'm sure we'll see more Little Feather.
Mm-hmm. So, but right now we must go over to Madness. So I'm going to run through the card top to bottom, and then we're going to get to our opener match and get us going here. So we have the Safari Slugfest between Homer Sapien, Oliver Taylor, Edward, Jackie O'Lantern, Thrax, Jamaican Jimmy, Michael Graves. Hey, there he is again, and Osira Themis. We have Cheyenne Fire versus Darcy Graves. We have Jocelyn Spencer versus Myra Rivers. We have Reginald Dampshaw III versus Little Juicy. We have Holden Ross versus Lexi Gold. We have Two Broke Chicks versus BGTL versus the Extreme Alliance versus Molly Barnes and Sierra Silver to determine the #1 contenders for the Gemini Champions. And then we have Elijah Copeland versus Hide Yamazaki for the IDL Championship. So after going through the pre-show, we get to our first match, which, oh, hey, well, look at that.
Hold on now. Pump the brakes. You missed one. You missed the Delta division. Yeah, you missed the 3-on-3.
Yeah, it seems like it's Chris Smash and the Privileged Elite versus the Bing Bong Twins, and oh hey, would you look at that? It's Dick Powers. I guess he did show up on Madness.
Yeah, he got better. Oh, beautiful.
Just walked that one off.
48 hours.
Okay, I just want to say, I don't know that teaming with Lil Cash App is better than dying necessarily.
What do you have against Little Cash App? Because you always call him out, and you never mention MCC Monkey.
Right?
MCC Monkey is a dumb name, but Lil Cash App has the dumbest name. Like, it's like embarrassing Dix McGee versus Moron Geriatric the Third or some shit.
What do you have against Geriatric, man? What the fuck?
Yo, man.
Does it make it better?
Does
it make it better or worse?
Before? Like, what's going on here, mate?
And I love that guy.
Ned, is it better or worse that their full names are MCC Monkey Bath Salts and Little Cash App Young Dollar Billionaires?
Little Cash App Young Dollar Billionaires is the dumbest name that has ever existed, and I fucking love it. Oh.
Well, they lost. Yeah, it turns out, that when you go out and buy a six-man tag partner because nobody likes you, it doesn't really work out. It didn't work out last time. They got Little Juicy. That didn't work. And then they paid Dick Powers, who was currently dead, and they paid him anyway, and it didn't work out.
Okay, I love how they went from Lil Juicy to Big Juicy.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah, fat hog.
I would also like to say that, like, Dick Powers has canonically died 6 times now.
Why do you keep getting it?
Oh, no.
Michael Graves, eat your heart out, honestly, at this point, I gotta say.
I mean, have you never heard of a boner killer? I mean, come on.
Every time Dick Powers dies is a boner.
Yes, absolutely. But that's, like I said, they lost. And on I believe the next, the monthly installment of Madness that it is, we're gonna go to Cape Town, South Africa, and that's gonna be the Bing Bong Twins taking on Dick Powers and Little Juicy in the match you didn't know you needed to see.
I now needed to see it.
Yeah,
I knew I didn't need to see it. It's on Madness.
Yeah. Wow. Well, but you're not because you weren't invited. I wonder why.
Damn.
I love how Gator shits on Madness more than I ever have.
I don't shit. I never shit on Madness. I love Madness. I hate Anarchy. Whatever that is.
He hates Anarchy. Get it right.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, he only hates some of the things that I put so much time and effort into. But yeah, I'll just run you through the rest of it. Look, Madness is a lengthy show. A lot of characters that, maybe casual XWFers aren't familiar with because they don't role play on the angled division, but it's a lot of fun.
It's great. No, it really is. I tease it and I make fun of it, but really, Madness is a great show.
Yeah, come any angled RPers out there, come and get it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Get involved. I always have one multi-man death match per show on there. This time it was Thrax, finally with a W on the Green Brand Madness. He's been in all these death matches, never won one, but he survived the Safari Slugfest. Did not get eaten by a cheetah. Beat some big hitters in there. I mean, Michael Graves, Osiris Themis, Edward, the current Anarchy champion. They were all in this match, but Thrax came up on top.
Definitely in line for some bigger things.
Yeah, he's the Lord of Violence now. He can brag about it, so I'm sure he will.
The
We had the
Lord of
singles.
Strongest Warrior.
That's the every madness, a new Lord of Violence is crowned in the deathmatch division. So he is now the Lord of Violence, and they get a nice little award. I think he got a plaque for winning this one.
Nice. You can really hang that one up.
Really
on
nice
the mantle.
Halloween themed match as well. You know, this Safari thing.
Right?
They're in Africa. They're in Ghana. They don't do Halloween over there. They still believe in that shit.
What?
Oh, Vinny!
Holy shit.
That doesn't.
They don't do Halloween in Africa.
Let's move on.
We're gonna cancel that this rate, I swear to God.
Yeah, let's move on before we have to make the all new, all different, all better XWF podcast.
Right?
Oh, they
Cheyenne,
really don't. Halloween is an American thing. Don't cancel me.
You think that's gonna stop the Twitter horde?
You're right. They got the Twitterati's coming for me. Help me, Elon.
no.
Speaking of, Elon
He-
literally just signed up to the XWF about half an hour ago.
Isn't that
He's
crazy?
trying to
Yeah.
buy. He's
That's
trying
wild.
to buy the Fed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He got rebuffed, but we saw how that played out with Twitter. He got turned away there too, and
But the
now
thing-
look what
Well,
happened.
I'm
to
all
be
for
fair,
it
he
'cause-
tried to.
sorry, apparently Elon Musk reads Dick Powers quarterly, so I'm all for him taking over.
Oh man.
Okay, that's why I said Dick Powers didn't like Madness. Is because apparently Dick Powers valued the Madness brand at $17. Which-
Dick Powers likes Madness, but you know it's a fair estimate.
Do you get the blue
I love that you can get a sandwich at Jimmy John's for the price of Madness.
Jimmy John's makes good subs. Oh, let me just take you through the rest before we get lost in the abyss here.
I am so sorry.
We had these 4 singles matches. Cheyenne Fire, Darcy Graves. Cheyenne came out on top on that one. That was a nice even keeled match. Joss Spencer with her man Jason Cash by her side. Fell to Myra Rivers. You might remember Myra. She's the winner of the Hollywood Walk of Fame ladder match that we had at Relentless. So
Yeah.
she's still on her winning ways.
Love to see.
Lil Juicy actually came up with a dub. Came up with a win against Reginald Damshaw III, also known as the Time Lizard.
What?
Big win.
What the hell?
You gotta do your research, folks.
The
do your research.
Time Lizard.
The Time Lizard. It makes you like it a little bit more now, right? Before it was
It
just
does.
some vaguely boring effete name, but now he's like the Time Lizard. I gotta learn more about this guy.
Yes.
If he,
Interesting name, I gotta say.
if he
So Lil Juicy beat him, and then Holden Ross and Lexi Gold. This was interesting because Holden Ross has been a monster tearing people up. Lexi Gold has been doing really well on Madness, but might have been the first person to actually defeat Holden Ross in a non-disqualification manner, but got distracted by a hooded man. Who could it be? Who could it be?
Cancun.
It probably was. It was
Yeah.
3 Finn Coons in a trench coat.
All stats up.
Just on top of their shoulders.
Yeah.
I would have been distracted by that too, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to. I think anybody would be. And
Who wouldn't? Yeah.
If anyone's
We
gonna
had
lose
the,
a match here, it's gonna be us.
the Gemini Championships. The Gemini Championships have a new #1 contender team. after the 4-way tag match here. It was two broke chicks came out on top, defeated the Extreme Alliance, who is the Extreme Alliance, by the way. I mean, that's Barney Green and Darren Dangerous, so don't sleep on them.
Right.
Yes. 1 second. Before we forget about it, can I please suggest that the three Finn Kun stable be called the Trilogy of Errors?
I hate this. I
And then after their nemesis can be three Finn Kun mothers that all regret their decision to keep Finn Kun.
Wow.
Oh God!
I believe all three Finn mothers canon are deceased, so I mean they'd be feuding with corpses at this point.
Hey, Dick Powers came back, so can Finn's mum.
Yeah.
This is true.
Have you learned nothing? Have you learned nothing?
Obviously, their moms are going to appear on Madness just fine.
I mean, hey, I haven't heard about a regeneration factor, but maybe it might kick in for them. Who knows?
Listen, speaking of Darren Dangerous, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but listen, you derailed me. You derailed me, and I took it back on track. I just steamrolled right over everything you wanted to say.
My bad. My bad.
Speaking of Darren Dangerous, like we all were just a moment ago, Mark Flynn went and dragged. I don't know how he does this with his optimum path. He like kind of infiltrated Darren Dangerous's dreams not that long ago, and that all came to a head right here on Madness.
The most viewed promo on all of Madness for a short period of time.
Yeah. So Mark Flynn showed up on Madness and had an unannounced one-on-one match with Darren Dangerous.
Okay, I just want to interrupt. I'm so mad about this. I like legit got angry when I saw Matt Flynn call out Darren Dangerous.
I knew you would.
I got so angry. I was like, I need to protect him. I need to protect him, but I couldn't because Dick Powers is dead.
Oh, it's really unfortunate, man. I wish he could have gotten in and helped him, honestly.
Yeah, I was
Darren.
Like, I was writing like a counterattack with Gator, but I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
He's also dead, right? I mean, he's died a couple times.
Maybe. I think
Noah Jackson could have come out of retirement.
Noah Jackson.
I mean, Vinny went to his funeral. Vinny Lane went to Gator's funeral. That happened several years ago.
I forgot about that.
Oh, whoa.
Darren Dangerous needs Gator again. Gator's got to rise up to the occasion.
But Darren, look, Darren got a few shots in, but this was right after a hard-fought 4-way tag team match, and then he had to immediately fight the XWF Universal Champion Mark Flynn. So you can imagine it was an uphill battle, and for a dude as round as Darren Dangerous, anything uphill is not going to work. So
what happened to his tag partner?
Oh my
Barney,
God.
Barney can't go 2 in a row. Barney can't go 2 in a row. Barney was in the back recovering.
You know what? That's fair. That's my bad. That's my bad.
You should know better than that. So yeah, Darren did not win against XWF Universal Champion Mark Flynn, but he gave a damn good effort. But then it's funny, the whole Madness brand got turned upside down because Elijah Copeland, who was supposed to defend the IDL championship, which is the top championship of the Madness brand, was not medically cleared to do so because of his match on Warfare a couple of weeks back, where Holden Ross injured him after the match. So now we have a vacated IDL championship. And on the next Madness, we have to set up a little mini tournament just to get a new champion. So really cool, interesting stuff coming up in Cape Town, South Africa. We did end up getting a main event. P-Day still got a match against Vita Valentine, who has made some appearances on Madness. She's won the Lord of Violence championship herself, actually. So it ended up actually being Vita with the win over Hide Yamazaki. So big W in the main event of Madness for Vita Valentine, and see how she parlays it moving forward on the next Madness when that card goes live. We'll say tomorrow.
It's gonna be interesting to see what the new IDL title scene is gonna be like. Honestly.
Absolutely. We don't even know because we're just going to throw 8 top contenders in there and see who comes out.
Could be anybody.
It could be anybody. Except Finn Kun.
Well, yeah, that's a given. I mean, he's got to get 3 of himself in order to get something going. So, I mean, it's going to be a hard-fought battle for him.
Well, to be fair, I can't afford to be on the Madness brand. I don't have $17 sitting around, so it probably won't be me.
You probably really don't.
I mean, Dick
I
Powers is
thought you
dead.
were gonna say more, and it
I
just
didn't
mean to
stopped.
hurt
And I
you.
didn't know how to feel. No, it's okay.
That was
I mean,
mean
let's
of me.
also
I'm
be
sorry.
fair. Dick Powers is dead, so it can't be him either.
Right.
Well, he's not dead anymore. He's just on Madness. He's
Yeah,
gonna
he got
fight.
teamed with the Bing Bong Twins.
No, he got
Yeah.
hit by a car on leaving the arena.
Thank you, Gator, for telling
Wait,
me.
wait, when did this happen? That didn't happen on air.
It was off camera.
Wait a couple of minutes.
Yes, please, Gator, please fucking just write like medical update for Dick Powers in the news and rumors section. Dick Powers died on the way back to his apartment.
And then we get the footage. We
He
got
has a
the footage
mansion.
from Liam, whatever his name is,
Oh,
and
Liam
it's
Desmond, fucking
yeah.
perv with a camera.
that car was being driven by Little Feather and 3 Finn Coons in a trench coat.
Oh,
Oh my God. Wait,
The
wait, wait.
plot thickens.
Wait a second. Oh my God. I can't believe that I have this in my mind, in my memory. I'm going to pull up this video. I'm going to find
Why-
this clip.
While you're doing that, let's get to Anarchy.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
get that.
course. We have another big card for you all with Anarchy being held in the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have the Jessica Anderson versus Gina Van Zyl. We have the Thugs, Tommy Wish and John Black versus the Bing Bong Twins, C Monkey and Lil Cash App. We have Eric Holland versus Lord Rabbit, a tables match. Then we have the semifinals of the #1 contender tournament between HGH and Unknown Soldier, as well as Ruby versus Centurion and Lovers coming to blows. Then we have the main event. We have Mastermind and his own misfits, Scott Dontress and Chris Von Bond versus Edward, Edwina, and Edward Jr. II, with Anthony the Jerk being hung from a cage over the middle of the ring to prevent any more interference. So definitely an interesting card ahead of us all.
Yeah, I mean well, this one just happened. This one just aired the other day, right on time on the 3rd. I swear.
Supposedly.
I think out of the old ECW arena itself, the 2300 arena. We had good stuff here, man. I mean, look, Jess Anderson, she's still trying to get on that optimal path. Couldn't get it done against Gina Van Zyl, but I think Mark Flynn's definitely taken her places. I mean, she did just recently get her first not loss on the last Anarchy, so next week she's booked against y'all know who. That'll be a fun one. And then we had the tag team match here, the Bing Bong Twins versus MCC Monkey Bath Zaltz and Lil Cash App Young Dollar Billionaires taking on Tommy Wish and John Black. So I mean, look, Anarchy is the Thugs' home. It's like coming into their house. So obviously they stood strong there. I mean, they weren't going to get beaten down by these jokers from Madness brand. I mean, even though I think whoever wrote that Bing Bong Twins RP, I mean, that was amazing. That was the best RP I've seen in like 6 months.
I need to really start writing for the Bing Bong Twins.
I mean, I don't know. I'll try to look up their IP or something maybe and see if I can reach out to them. They for sure could be uni champ someday. Eric Holland and Lord Rab. I mean, that was a fun one right here. I mean, unfortunately, to some maybe a surprise ending. Lord Rab actually took this one. Eric Holland is kind of new to Anarchy and fell for the old "let me try to jump you through a table." Oops, he moved out of the way and now I went through the table.
Feels bad.
Sometimes it bees like that, and that's how it went. I would really like it actually. This next match, HGH versus Soldier, if Ned could maybe take us through what happened on that one.
So for HGH versus Unknown Soldier, we got him starting in the ring, and then immediately Vinny Lane is handed a note and addresses the crowd, and there's a surprise entrance.
Oh,
and this entrance is a literal fucking gorilla. No, he's not the Ned K Slayer. He didn't slay me. He didn't do shit. He went out Orlando.
I mean, they'd have to literally bribe him to prevent the match from happening. So I mean,
I cannot get over the fact that a literal gorilla just squashed unknown soldier and human growth hormone. I can't fucking get over this.
Oh god.
Happened,
I
buddy.
mean, maybe it was a
happened.
wise move on your part to bribe him because otherwise it
I
could have
didn't
to
bribe
you.
him. I didn't
Yeah.
bribe him. I paid no money to a literal gorilla. I freed
Now
him
we-
because he's an animal.
We
And
know
then-
exactly we see what the gorilla is capable of. Obviously, he could have beaten Ned K.
Oh, wait,
Are you
Easily.
seriously trying? Vinny, don't get towards this match again. I will win again. Stop trying to make this match happen.
No, wait, you said you don't even have $17 lying around. Where did the money go to?
Exactly. Now, see, it all
What?
comes together.
What? No, that means I didn't have enough money to fucking pay the gorilla, you asshats.
But
Yeah.
the bribing happened before now. That's why you don't have $17 lying around.
Oh my goodness.
But look at the car that hit Kick Power. Was a literal gorilla behind that car or not? Who knows?
Driving it up from Orlando straight to Memphis, Tennessee.
All the way up to Philadelphia.
I'm gonna be
So,
going
wait.
straight to California for Frankenfury.
Do
Wait,
you know how hard it is for a gorilla to get a driver's license?
Very hard. But that just means he's a celebrated member of society.
is our
It's not fair.
collective headcanon that Netcave frees a literal gorilla? A literal gorilla goes out, gets a car legally, legally gets a car with his legal driver's license, drives back, happens to drive past to South Africa, in which he can run over Dick Powers, drives all the way to, one second, I'm double checking Anarchy, to Philly,
Yeah.
and then squashes Unknown Soldier in HGH.
He's
Yeah,
really
that's what happened.
warpath, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. It makes sense.
Hey, check Liam
Honestly.
Desmond's tapes.
And I mean, honestly, Ned K used to be on Anarchy, and it could be argued that he hasn't been back because he's afraid of the gorilla.
Yeah,
The gorilla just got there.
but you
I
knew
swear
what was
to
going to
God.
happen in the future.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a precog. I swear to God.
Yes,
You're
you
gonna
are.
make
You
me
painted
fucking sign up. I'm gonna opt into Anarchy just so I can face a literal gorilla, and I'm gonna be so mad about it.
Wait a second, you're gonna beat up the literal gorilla? Peter was right about you.
You are a piece of
I
shit, Ned.
am not gonna beat up a literal gorilla. I'm gonna
But you just
sign
said you
in
would.
so I can. No. I'm gonna beat up Vinny. He's on commentary. He's right
Oh.
there. I'm gonna opt into Anarchy and kick his ass.
You don't have enough teeth in your mouth for that bite.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, you fucking.
We got one.
Oh.
Yeah. I wonder who judges Anarchy. Anyway, moving on, we had. Sorry,
Okay.
I wouldn't do that to you. I would have Theo decide that you lost. I wouldn't do it myself.
Oh, of course. I expect nothing less.
Yeah, you shouldn't. But we had the other tournament match was Ruby and Cent. That was a big one, if you remember. Obviously, Ruby and Centurion are a romantically linked couple. They faced off once before. And Centurion actually is the one who took away the Anarchy Championship from the three-time champion Ruby. The only three-time champion. So it was a nice rematch here, and Ruby got the W. So she kind of got a little bit of closure there. Now they've both been on top.
We've been trying to go for a four-time Anarchy Championship.
It's good.
Ruby,
There you go, folks. He can count. But yeah, so I mean, the HGH Soldier match obviously kind of got aborted. So on the next Anarchy, what we have is a big elimination battle royal to determine who Ruby is going to end up facing in the finals in the same night to actually become the #1 contender to Edwards Anarchy Championship. So that'll be a fun one. Wins can be pinfall, submission, or getting thrown over the top rope. Be a fun match to watch. We got like 10 folks in that one.
I do think
And then in this
Rachel
main event,
Gorilla
we
got robbed there. He should be against Ruby.
unfortunately, what it is
Yeah.
that Gorilla didn't want to sign the contract. Gorilla was holding out. He did like a Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 7 kind of bullshit,
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, we drove away.
Yeah, he left.
He
Probably
drove
because
in the
he's
car that he used to kill Big Powers.
Yes.
it's right. He's looking for Ned K, and Ned K wasn't there, so he's moved on.
Fair.
You know what? Meet me on Warfare, a literal gorilla, so that I can not face you again because facing animals is wrong.
Yeah, you have much better chances on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Benny, I love you.
Yeah, I bet you do. The main event we had 3-on-3. We had Edward and Edwina and Edward Jr. the second, or Edward Jr. 2, or Edward Deuce Deuce. It's not Junior the second, just so you know. But yeah, against the Misfits, Mastermind, Scarlet, and Chris Von Bon, and we had Anthony the Jerk hanging over a cage, in a little tiny cage hanging over the ring there, so he couldn't interfere. But it all went to crap when 2 became 1, and Melanie Crazy Childs appeared from underneath the ring with a set of keys.
Oh,
That's such a stupid
this
joke.
is crazy.
That's the best joke you've ever made. That's so good.
Too much of nothing is quite enough.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, it ended up the Edwards all got beat down and choked out, even though technically they won by disqualification. I mean, the Misfits stood tall in this one, and Mastermind is a part of that elimination battle royal on the next Anarchy.
This is true.
So he might get another shot at the
Yeah.
Anarchy Championship that Edward took away from him. So a lot of
Getting ready
cool stuff
to
happening on
spice
the
up your
Anarchy.
life.
Yeah, it will. It will, you know. I can't think of any other songs by them. Damn it.
So, do we want Maverick to do the honors of reading the card for the upcoming Anarchy? Do we have any thoughts on this last one?
Well, I kind of already went through it a little bit, right? I mean, we have most of the card is the Battle Royal, right? But we do have a debut. We do have a couple of debuts, really.
Yes.
Cletus versus Afria Adler. They're both new. Cletus actually showed up after the tables match and attacked Lord Rab on the show that we just went through. So we'll see how that plays out. And like I mentioned before, y'all know who is taking on the Jessica Anderson.
Seems Cletus is double booked though. Interesting.
Yeah, we didn't have to mention that. I mean, I was gonna say what it was supposed to be, but that's fine. Fix it later. Fix that later.
And I'm gonna screen cap that now.
Yeah, that's fine. And then yeah, Ruby in the main event is facing whoever wins that battle royal. So obviously she's got a little bit of an advantage because she'll be fresh. But we'll see.
Dastardly heel Ruby trying to take advantage of the situation. Hate to see it.
Well, you can't trust superheroes. Man,
honestly, never meet your heroes. That's why they say that.
I didn't realize that Vinny was gonna go full Syndrome.
The hell does that mean?
From The Incredibles, you fuck.
I don't watch kid movies, okay?
I was a kid when that kid movie came out. Well, you were still suckling on. You were still suckling on my mother's teeth.
Disgusting.
You know what? Honestly,
your own mother like this, man. Come on.
No, I don't want to get into it on air.
Come on.
Let's move on. We're gonna wrap it up because that was all 4 shows and all 4 cards. It's a lot to digest. In other news, I mean, I think a couple people might have noticed, but we got some cool stuff coming up, XWF related. But we are bringing back the Lingerie Football League for the ladies out there.
Interesting.
Vinny Lane owns his awesome team out of Mexico City, the Tenochtitlan Quetzalcoatl. So be on the lookout for them. They're going to be hard hitters. James Raven, the owner of the Toronto Frost.
Michael Jordan, the owner of the Chicago Fire.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, number 23.
Donald
the GOAT.
Trump, the owner of Miami
Best
Storm.
basketball player of all time. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, and Donald Trump. Yeah, owns the Miami Storm.
I see there's a Cincinnati Hit Girl, so I wonder who's in charge of that.
That is actually owned by Sarah Lachlan.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, another former XW over there.
Ned K, owner of $17.
Not
It's-
anymore.
You
Which
got
is
your money
Just
back.
getting rid of it.
Interesting.
not
No,
enough for
I
a
didn't
football
pay the
team.
gorilla.
Yeah. But hey, it's going to be a lot of fun. If be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks, because that'll be something that we can bullshit about. It's a lot of fun. Just simulated football games with lady characters, and we can talk a bunch of mess about it. So
It's gonna be
Um,
fun.
it'll be a lot of fun. Actually, the quarterback, I'll announce it right now. The quarterback of the Quetzalcoatl, none other than Mexico's own Latina submission machina.
Hmm.
Oh, it's moving up in the world. You'll love to see that.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
starting
everything's in
QB,
store for her.
starting QB. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We were supposed to. I thought Robbie Bourbon was going to join us on this podcast. I don't know if something came up at the last moment, but I was going to give him a little shout out anyway. Obviously, Burbs and TK, Chronic Chris Page, they kind of paved the way with the podcast, and we picked up the mantle and moved on with it. So I wanted to kind of give the guy some props for being one of the trendsetters at the beginning, the early days of the podcast, about a little over a year ago, right? I think is when we started him. So maybe we'll get him next time. We'll see. He didn't make it on, but the one who is here is Bearded War Pig. So go ahead, Pig. Tell us what you had to say. Nah, he's not here. I'm just kidding. It's a throwback joke.
I was wondering if somebody was gonna do a voice. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
No, he's not here. No, he was always supposed to be on the old cast and never was. So
Yeah.
just
But
just a nice throwback bit.
Unfortunate.
who we do have is Darren Dangerous. Darren, what do you have to say?
You don't know Darren.
No, you don't say it. Hi.
Darren Dangerous
my
is a
name's-
very privileged member of the elite.
My name's Darren Dangerous. Check out my new book, Blood Reapers 2.
The novella, the vampire novella.
The show
The
vampire
the
novella.
physical novel that Gator absolutely owns in real life.
Oh my God! Send the picture to me. I didn't know that.
I don't. I own the ebook.
No!
Sadly.
Oh, it's the ebook.
so
Yeah, I
Oh,
have the ebook. Yeah.
Does it? Wait. Does it actually exist in print?
No, not
Yeah.
anymore.
oh, it's out of print.
It's out of
That
print
is
now.
unfortunate.
Well, it's self-published. I mean, that
check
happens.
every so often.
What is it called again? What is
The
it
Blood
called?
Reapers. With
Blood
Julian
Reapers.
Frost.
Yeah.
Who finds the
The
dark
Blood
underbelly
Reapers.
of
As far as I know, the only actual published author in XWF history. Self-published, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
It still counts.
It still counts.
Still counts. But
The
yeah, that's
Blood
it.
Reapers. Okay.
That's all we
Next time
have for you folks. We talked your ear off. We're gonna cut it out.
Next
Thanks
time we'll be
everybody
back,
for
we'll be
hanging
able to
out with
go
us.
over the-
You
we'll be able to go
speak
over
when
the
you're
result-
spoken to.
Fuck you! I'm trying to hype up the next episode.
Hype up the next episode. Go ahead. I'm mad now.
I love to see
will.
Matt
I will.
stand up for
Well, next time we have the XWF podcast, we'll be going over the Warfare, Savage, and Anarchy results, and we'll be able to hype up the next XWF pay-per-view, Bad Medicine, with a whole bunch of title matches and stories coming to a conclusion. So we hope you come around for that. Are
Yeah,
you satisfied, Lane?
Great job. Whole lot of matches.
Yes, whole lot of them.
Bad medicine is what I need. Hey, we're obviously tired. Let's let Gator go to sleep. It's like 6 in the morning or something. Daylight savings time happened. I don't even know
Something like
anymore.
Yeah, it's a mess
Yeah.
over here.
It definitely is. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again, my 3 friends, Ned, Gator, and the other one. And we'll see you all
You
next time.
too.
Please join us next time for the wake of Dick Powers and Maverick Health and Dignity.
Yeah. And we'll talk about what that damn gorilla did.
We'll meet up with Frankie for the next.
Can't say that. Holy
Oh.
shit! That
He
sounds so
obviously
bad.
it obviously does not upset Ned at all to talk about that.
Clearly.
All right, that's it. We're cutting it loose. Everybody,
Yeah.
oh yeah, forget it. Ghost Tank, I know you're listening. I know you can't get enough of me. Suck it. Goodbye, everybody.